Hi, folks. Thanks for being here today for Music Business Common Ground webinar series. My name is Henrik Bick. I'm the Communications and Content Manager for Music Biz. Happy to welcome you to today's session. And before we introduce our presenters and get things going, I just have a couple of quick housekeeping notes. This is our final webinar for the Fall 2024 webinar series. Thanks for everybody who's attending today, and whether you've attended just today's session or many of our webinars throughout the fall, we're glad to have you here. If you'd like to network with your fellow attendees, be sure to change your chat settings to everyone. That'll give you a chance to speak with everybody who's on the call today. We will be taking questions in a Q&A at the end of the webinar today. In order to submit those, please press the Q&A button on your Zoom dashboard. From there, you'll be able to access the portal that will send in questions, and we'll get to answering those at the end of today's webinar. And since today is the final fall webinar, we just want to mention that our spring series will get announced in early January. So thanks to those who want to check out the spring series, look out for announcements in January. We will get started right away. Thanks to our presenters for being here today from the Deezer team. Please welcome Adrian and Catherine. Y'all take it away.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. As Henrik said, I'm Adrian. I am the head of global artist relations at Deezer. And next to me, I have.
Hi, guys. Thank you for joining. I am based in London with Adrian, and I manage the Warner and Universal account globally.
Exactly. So we are going to give you a little run through of Deezer. I am assuming that many of you may be familiar with the name, but maybe not as familiar with who we are, what we do, what opportunities are available in terms of artists and how we work with them, and how you can connect with us. So this presentation will cover all of that, and hopefully you find it useful as sort of a general overview of Deezer and how you can work with us. So next slide, please, Kat. So we're going to kick off with a little video. Go ahead, Thank you. So just a sizzle reel to kick things off. I find that's a nice way to start things. Hopefully that gave you a bit of a sense check and a bit of a vibe on who we are as a company, how we operate, and just a general vibe for what we do. So just Deezer in numbers, the bare basics here. We are the #2 independent music streaming service in the world. Independent meaning streaming is our core business. So Apple Music or Amazon Music would not be considered independent. I'm sure you could guess who #1 is. That would be Spotify. So Deezer's #2. We're operating in 180 countries, very similar to any other streaming service. We have 600 employees around the world. The bulk of those are based in our headquarters in Paris. That is that building on this slide on the right here, a really beautiful building. That's our whole office, all 7 floors of it. And that's based in the 9th district in Paris. We have 10.5 million subscribers, up over 1 million year on year. About just under $500 million in revenue last year. So, a healthy chunk of money being generated, and 11% revenue growth year on year as compared to Q3 last year. So growing as well. Next slide, please. And then a big question I think that needs to be answered is where are we and kind of what is our focus? So this answer is twofold. We are based in France, as mentioned. We are a French company. And thus a large portion of our subscription base is in France. So our main B2C focus in terms of direct to consumer marketing, that is in France. And you'll notice that a lot of the activations we do, the vast majority of them are based in France because that's where our subscription base is, that's where we have leverage, and that's where we're able to connect with an audience, is in that market. However, we also are present in multiple territories around the world through tactical B2B partnerships. So we are partnering with various businesses across various verticals to thus expand and grow in other territories and to maintain relevance as a global company. So our B2B partnerships make up about 4 million of our subscribers. So that's about 40% of our total subscription base. There's currently 45 different B2B partnerships around the world. That goes from Serbia to Netherlands to Mexico and everywhere in between. As I said, for a variety of different businesses. You'll see some examples here on the bottom right. Sonos, I'm sure you all recognize. Lots of telco companies, but they really range in terms of the vertical. But yeah, that's our strategic way of growing in other markets. There's really, no amount of marketing spend that anybody can do to convince somebody to switch from their preferred streaming service. We can't just pop up in Mexico City and put up a billboard and say sign up to Deezer. Obviously, that's not going to work. So how do we grow? How do we compete with larger players? This is how we do it, through these tactical B2B partnerships in other territories. So I'll go through some of them and specific case studies in the next slides. So a big one that we have at the moment is Meli Plus. So this is Mercado Libre. And if you're not familiar with it, don't worry, I wasn't familiar either before we did the deal. But Mercado Libre is basically the Amazon Prime of Latin America and is actually bigger than Amazon in Latin America. So it's a full e-commerce free shipping bundle that also has a video subscription service, much like Prime. The video subscription service is provided by Disney Plus and Stars Plus, and then it has a music subscription service as well, which is provided by us, Deezer. So you subscribe to Meli Plus and you get a Deezer music subscription bundled in, and thus all the subscribers of Meli Plus are then subscribers of Deezer. Next slide, please. And then we have Sonos in the US. This is a slightly different setup. Obviously, Sonos have Sonos Radio, and Deezer is the white label service that provides music for Sonos Radio. So when you're listening to Sonos Radio, you're technically listening to Deezer, although Deezer's not really branded or Deezer's not in the forefront. It's really kind of the back end supply of music that the partnership is based on. But all those Sonos Radio subscribers are our subscribers. RTL Plus in Germany is very similar. So RTL Plus is a massive media conglomerate in Germany. If there are any Succession fans on the call, I compare it to Waystar Royco. So it's the Waystar Royco of Germany. They own everything from TV to newspapers to podcast, movies, all of it. They have an app that bundles it all in one. And in that app, they also have a music component, and Deezer supplies the music for that music component of the app. So you can see here how this is just allowing us already to expand and open the door to other territories. When we have very little presence in the US, Sonos has really opened the door to the US for us, and there's various types of artist content that we do with them to access US artists. Meli Plus on the previous slide, that added 1 million subscribers within about 6 months and really opened the doors to Latin America for us. It started in Mexico, but it's expanding into other territories in Latin America now, including Chile is a big one. And we have an office in Brazil, and that office handles kind of all of that business, in addition to multiple other partnerships that we have in Brazil as well. But these are just a few, a bit of a highlight reel of some of our main partnerships and why we do it. Thank you. So what's happening in 2024? What have we been up to? Next slide, please. Firstly, we've had a rebrand. So about a year ago now, we did a massive rebrand, and this was a big deal. It was about a year in the making. So it took a lot of time. This wasn't just a simple change of a logo, which it included, but it's a lot more than that. You can see here kind of the visual aesthetic and hopefully get a vibe for it. I'm sure you'll notice that our color is purple now, and our logo is the heart shape, but kind of made by these sound waves. So, there's the visual component of the rebrand, but it really has changed the way we work. It's changed our ethos. So you saw in the first sizzle reel that we showed, there was a motto at the end called "Live the Music," and that's kind of our brand motto, our company motto. So everything we do is through the lens of that tagline really. And we focus a lot on that and in real life experiences with fans and artists. The rebrand also resulted in kind of our two main brand pillars, which are expression and connection. Basically meaning we become a forum for fans and artists to connect with each other, and also fans to connect with each other themselves, and also for fans to express themselves, to feel like they can be their unique, authentic self, and to find their tribe. So that's done through the features within the app. There's a variety of them, but also through our off-app activations that we do with artists that Kat is going to dive into in a few slides' time. So that's the rebrand, which we're all very excited about. The next thing is ACPS. So I've gone from a really kind of visual, exciting, creative thing to more of a number crunching thing. I don't know what your preference is, but they're both really interesting. So ACPS, I don't know if anybody's heard of this, but this is basically a new royalties model, a new payment system for payouts from streams. This is was we launched it last year in partnership with Universal, and this was the first time that there was any change or any development to the royalty model, to the payment model, since streaming's inception 10 to 15 years ago. Spotify quickly followed with their own version, but this is our version that we launched first, I might add. And I'll give you a really high level overview here. This usually results in quite a few questions, and I'm happy to take those questions. I can't promise I'll have the answers to every single question because it is a really complex system and it's a lot more complex than what I'm presenting here. But this is the overview, and I'll try to answer questions as best I can. But if I can, I'll point you in the right direction for sure. So ACPS is split up into four different components. Firstly, we have the double boost. Now, you're awarded a double boost, meaning you're awarded twice the payment than you would normally get for an active stream and or if you're a professional artist. So an active stream is a track that's a lean-in stream, and we classify that as any stream from an editorial playlist, an artist page, the user's own library, basically any stream that is non-algorithmic. That's an active stream. So all of those streams will get a double boost automatically, get paid twice the amount than something laying outside of the active stream. And that's not to say that if you're not an active stream, you're getting paid less. You're getting paid the amount you normally would, but you're getting paid double if you are classified as an active stream. And then professional artists, which we classify as 1,000 streams per month from at least 500 unique listeners. So if you're both of those, you're getting a double boost. The next component is catalog cleaning. So this is where we're cleaning up our catalog and actually removing tracks to make the royalty pool bigger. So what type of tracks are we removing? I mean, there's multiple different categories. But as you can imagine, in this digital world, there's tons of duplicate tracks uploaded. There's also many albums with the same track 16 times over on the album. In a world where we have multiple versions of the same song, such as slowed down, sped up. We see UGC actually uploading their own slowed down and sped up, so we're removing those if they're not official. So all of that removals makes way for a wider payout pool for the existing tracks and for the professional artists because we're not paying for those kind of short, scrupulous tracks, if you will. We're also removing noise content, so we classify that as, rain sounds, sleep sounds, basically functional audio. We're removing that and replacing it with our own functional audio that does not dip into the royalty pool. So we have our own functional audio in app, and that's not taken away from the royalty pool. So again, the royalty pool is now available and is bigger for, the professional artist. We are very focused on fraud detection, and we're amping up all of our fraud detection, and we like to say we're first in class in that. And then we have a user streamed capped approach, with a heavy user impact on royalty calculations limited to 1,000 streams per month. So this is basically leveling the playing field. I think if you think of kind of the superstars with an avid fan base, or the K-pop genre, for instance, they'll have fans that are streaming over and over just to have that kind of ardent support for their favorite artists. So by capping the number of streams, that count towards paying out royalties, we kind of level out that playing field. So I feel like I didn't do that elegantly at all, but that's ACPS. I'm not sure how elegant I can be with something like this, but we are really proud of it. It's kind of a start. This is something that changes and develops over time. And we are actually making changes as we speak to it. It initially rolled out in France, but it is now worldwide, and I'm pretty sure most labels are participating. But again, these kind of thresholds and user caps are all updating in real time. So yeah, so we like to consider ourselves a disruptor, and at the end of the day, it's all about rewarding artists more fairly. Next slide, please. Another new development that came out this year is the Purple Club, and this is something we're super excited about because it's the first of its kind, and we can wholeheartedly say that there's no other streaming service doing this at the moment. So the Purple Club is a destination within the app, so it's a separate tab within the app called Club. You go to that tab and you see a variety of contests in there, and users can enter these contests and win. And the contests are for a spot at one of our fan events that we do with an artist. So Fan XP is kind of our artist event, fan event brand name, and we do a variety of different events that Kat will go into under that umbrella of Fan XP. So we do a variety of events with artists. So users can enter into a contest to win a spot at one of those events. And also we do concert ticket giveaways. So we'll get an allocation of tickets from the artist or the manager or the label, and we'll put those in the app as well, in the club tab, so users can enter to win a free ticket. So it's a destination for all these exclusive events that you can't get anywhere else, only open to premium subscribers. At the moment, it's only available for in France and for French events, and events taking place in France. But we're really excited about it. We've seen a massive uptake from it. We're also, looking towards catalog consumption with this because the user, when they enter a contest, they're automatically subscribed to the artist page and their latest album or their 100% playlist, and they also get redirected there as well. So it's kind of like a twofold approach. But again, this is all kind of in the vein of live the music and that tagline. Next slide, please.
So moving on to our
And
artist
also,
toolkit.
yes.
Sorry, Adrian. Yeah. Moving on to our artist
No.
toolkit. This is basically our artist activations that we offer labels, and it is basically divided into three pillars. First pillar being Deezer sessions. So Deezer sessions, this is our exclusive live performance. It's filmed at our state-of-the-art studio in our basement in Paris. It's custom visualizers that are created for each session, so it's very unique to each artist, and it really shows their identity. We've done over 75 sessions in our basement, and we mostly cater to French artists. However, a lot of international artists passing through Paris are always more than welcome to come and film a session. We've done with the incredible Benson Boone. He came and he recorded Beautiful Things, which reached #1 in France. And to name a couple of other artists, Ashniko, 070 Shake, Arya Star. So the list goes on. We've had over 67 million YouTube views as well across sessions on our YouTube channel. So that is our sessions. These are sessions live. It also falls under the same umbrella of the sessions. This is basically a live event in Paris to connect our Parisian superfans to the artists they love. It's relatively a new concept, and we have created it with Bose. So it's a very exciting partnership that's going to continue into 2025 with events planned quarterly. We launched our first Deezer sessions live with Bose with London Grammar, and it was a massive success. So we're going to continue that throughout 2025. It basically, we captured the audio at the venue that lives on our platform as well, along with a visualizer of the whole performance and an interview piece as well. Rooftop sessions, another kind of sessions that we offer. We're in season 3. We had launched it with the one and only Fatboy Slim on top of the Centre Pompidou. For those who don't know, this is an iconic venue that is full of arts and crafts, basically, and it's the second most visited space in Paris after the Louvre. So it was a very iconic performance. We invited 200 Deezer winners to come and listen to the set and just watch the sunset over Paris. It was epic. And we also did 7 other sessions on our rooftop in Paris without fans. However, it has a panoramic view of Eiffel Tower and the Montmartre Sacré-Cœur. So we had DJs like Eli and Fur, Yours Vorn, Chloe Calais, Tita Lau, Cyril, Groove Armada, the list goes on. Over 7 million total views as well on YouTube. Next up is the Fan XP. So this is purely catered to fans. It's very important that we bring fans closer to the artists they love. Front Row XP is a concept basically where 20 top streamers are invited to attend a private performance before a show, and they get to meet the artist. The artist performs 4 to 5 songs. They get to ask them the Q&A, so it's very intimate. And there's also a merch giveaway. We've done with the legend Lenny Kravitz in Paris at La Sienne Musicale, a very important venue. And we do, on average, 2 Front Row XPs a month. We've also done other Front Row XPs with Last Dinner Party, Aurora, Yanis and the Yao, Griff. So yeah, the list goes on. Moving on, we also have a pre-release XP. It's in the name, basically, before an album is released, we invite a small amount of super fans to come and meet the artist, hear the album, ask the artist questions. We did this amazing, very curated and unique experience with Santa, the French pop star, where we hired a hot air balloon and they got to listen to it in the hot air balloon in a very intimate space, looking at the beautiful views of France. We've also done other pre-release parties with Denzel Curry, Sinead Harnett, and Tom Walker, to name a few. Moving on, we also do release parties. So post when an album's live, we had Billie Eilish. Basically, we invited around 40 winners to come and meet Billie Eilish, ask her questions, listen to the album in a very intimate hipster nightclub in Paris. It was the only fan event in Europe as well to support the release of Billie's latest album. So it was extremely special and unique for these fans. And we plan to roll out live performances in 2025, basically on a monthly basis. When it comes to social media as well, this is a third pillar. It's important to note that we cater to all artists. So not only the top tier, but emerging is also very important. To go through a few of them, fan questions is a fun concept where we ask fans to send in questions that we send to an artist, and she or he records their answers, and it gets uploaded to our channels. So it's very engaging. Say it or snail it is it's basically, because we're French, we have to incorporate snails. So an artist is asked questions. If they want to answer it, they answer it. If they don't, they have to eat snails. And it's just a very fun personality piece. The getting to know is catered towards emerging kind of up and coming artists, where we introduce them to our audience, and it's full of basically like fun facts about the artist, and you just kind of making sure that fans understand and just introducing them to these new artists. And then lastly, Music Quiz is a very fun personality piece where we invite artists to our office in London or Paris to basically guess a playlist of songs that we play for them. They need to guess the artist, they need to guess the name of the song. And yeah, it's just, we've done it with Stefflon Don and Victor Ray recently as well. So just a very fun personality piece. We also do longer form content. So Say It or Snail It with Aurora, and Behind the Album with the one and only Sabrina Carpenter as well, as on our YouTube channel. Moving on, Deezer Originals. These are just unique projects, which are global projects across markets that we create. We've done inversions. It's about the 4th or 5th year that we've done inversions. And the concept here is new recordings of hit songs by up-and-coming artists. And it's compiled into an exclusive album on Deezer. And we've seen some amazing results where these tracks are on basically they're highly streamed on an artist profile. We're getting good engagement rate as well. We've also had other Deezer originals like Mozart Recomposed, ASMR Sessions, and Childhood Memories. POV playlist is our flagship playlist, and it's basically embracing a popular TikTok trend and having artists basically it's around a specific theme on TikTok, so it's very engaging. Music quizzes is a relatively new offering, but we're seeing some excellent results. It's a great tool to engage an artist catalog before a release or before an anniversary. We've seen some excellent results so far. Over 2.2 million unique users are playing the music quiz on platform. One specific case, the Rolling Stones, we saw an increase of 11% in daily streams after they played this music quiz, as well as a 27% increase in collection rate following the launch of their music quiz. And the collection rate basically means that after they played this music quiz, at least 1 or 2 tracks were saved to the user's library. So extremely engaging for these top tier artists. Deezer Next, moving on, is our emerging artist program. And basically, we have seen we've been collaborating with some excellent artists. You can see the stats in the slide. We offer support prior to an artist's release, basically a whole month of support that has CRM, that has socials, that has editorial support on platform. And we invite these artists to Paris to record a session and to record some 4 to 5 pieces of fun, social, very personalized content pieces. And we drop it throughout the month. And we're seeing some amazing numbers. Apart from these that you see on screen, we've also done Deezer Next with Anne Marie, Louis Capaldi, Miles Smith. So it's just, yeah, we get in there early and we support them. And yeah, we continue the journey with them. This is a case study with Big Pig, just to show you how effective Deezer Next is. We saw a 75% increase in editorial streams post Deezer Next, and that's, if you see on the screen, basically the baseline is increased and it just kind of stays there. So we're seeing just an increase of streams post these content pieces that we're launching and the session. So yeah, it just maintains that line. So yeah, it's just it's an actual lift in the streaming the artist catalog in app, and the line tends to stay there as well. So lastly, I mean, Deezer is known to be throughout the artist journey. Basically, we are there. It's not a one-off activation that we offer artists. We're going to take 2 case studies. Arlo Parks, we began working with her very early in her career, where she curated bespoke playlists. She also was one of the artists we had for Inversions one of our years. She did a Deezer session and ending with a Deezer session live as well. So this is just to show you the journey that Deezer just stays on with the artist, and we're there throughout every EP drop, album drop, single drop, just to continue supporting them throughout their career. Another big one, Ed Sheeran. He's done so much with us, from sessions at our previous HQ in Paris to a massive superstar session at the Pompidou Center to promote his Equal album, as well as a fan event. We did this bespoke fan event where it was like an art gallery to showcase his new album that was coming out, the Subtract album. So it's just to show you that we're always on the journey with the artists, and we don't just, it's not a one-off. Now, how to connect with Deezer. We have our very special analytical tool, just like Spotify for artists, Apple Music for artists, we have Deezer for creators. And this platform allows labels, managers, artists to basically understand their streaming figures. They get to see how many people are streaming a track or an album. They get to see where their audience is. So we offer key demographics such as gender, age, if it's a subscription plan or not. And it's also this one-stop shop for artists and managers to come and just, they can upload their new profile pics, they can change their bios, they can add new social links as well. So it's an all-encased platform, basically, an analytical tool that we offer for artists and managers. And we've also added a link for later that you can understand how you can gain access as well. But you can always ask us questions. Pitching tool is our Bible. We have basically, it's found on Deezer for creators, and this is how labels pitch new releases every week. It is central to our editorial team, so they have eyes on it. It impacts our algorithm as well. And we always obviously recommend that music is pitched at least 7 days prior, and all the slots are filled, UPC, genre, key markets. And again, as mentioned, you can get this through Deezer for creators. And we also set up some online training and guidelines if you guys need it. And in a nutshell, that is it.
Yes, right. Thank you very much for joining. Actually, I think we got through that faster than we expected. So we are very open to any questions, but hopefully that gives you a good introduction to who we are and what we do. I think overall we consider ourselves kind of the indie DSP. We really feel like we have that spirit. We're a smaller player, but I think we punch way above our our way, and we're always very hungry and eager to work with you guys. So please reach out for anything you need.
We have a lot of questions or comments. Let's go through them.
As we are waiting for questions to come in on the Q&A box, I just want to extend a big thank you to Catherine and Adrian from the Deezer team. Thank you for being here today to walk through the platform and to talk through Deezer's story. We really appreciate you being here. And thanks everyone else for attending. We're really glad to have you here and to connect you with the Deezer team. So if you've got any questions as we reach the conclusion of the webinar, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A box and we will answer them now.
I see one that's come in, a few coming in, so I'll just read them out and answer. Outside of being based in France, what do you think made you a top player? Corey? There's probably a couple of reasons. One of the big reason for that is through our B2B partnerships. We have a massive partnership with a telco called Orange in France. It's a mobile phone company. So that, and we've had that since the beginning, I'm pretty sure, since
Yeah.
inception. So that added a lot of subscribers, and there's also other partnerships in France as well. So I think that did a lot of the legwork. Um, and then another question. Hi, I am tapping in from Trinidad and Tobago. I wanted to find out if Deezer focuses on working one-on-one with artists to promote projects. Yep, 100%. I mean, in terms of one-on-one, working directly with an artist, yes, that's completely fine. A lot of the activations that Kat presented was with direct contact. I think that the thing to kind of caveat here is that with a very clear B2C focus in France and a very large portion of our subscriber base in France, everything we do is through that lens. So it's always catered to a French audience, and we need definitely to have some sort of relevance or some sort of traction in France to work with an artist, because that's where most of our subscribers are.
And it looks like we do have a couple of questions that came. Oh, no more coming through the Q&A dashboard. There are a couple in chat as well. Folks, we will, if we can't get to answering these before the conclusion of the webinar, just don't worry. We will send them over to the Deezer team and get them to them for answering as well. So thanks for sending everything.
So, one of the questions is, are songs on Deezer available to be streamed from TikTok and IG for content and dance challenges? Yes. So, if a song's delivered to Deezer, it will be delivered to every other platform, as well as TikTok and Instagram. But the songs that are delivered, obviously, that's controlled by the label and the rights holder, so they choose where the song ends up. But generally, yes, songs on Deezer you can find on any other major platform. I hope I answered that right. If I didn't, just let me know. Who can I reach out to regarding pitching a project? Yours truly and Kat
Yeah.
right here. David Atkinson is also in this call and has been in the chat. He works for Deezer as well, and he's based in the US. So he deals with a lot of the US business. So he would be a good contact as well. I believe he put his email in the chat already.
Basically, we have
Do the
sorry, Adrian, we have account
Go
managers
ahead, Kat.
in London and in Paris that are part of the global team. So you can reach out to us and we can point you in the right direction, whether it's coming from a major or coming from an indie, but we're always available. So yeah.
Do the subscription and streams from the B2B partnerships show in the creator analytics and public numbers on the platform? Yes, they do. And then if songs are delivered to Spotify, Amazon, Apple, etc. by the distributors, are they also delivered to Deezer, or does that have to be done separately? Thank you very much. No, that's done at the same time. So all the delivery channel is the same for any other DSP, and as songs are delivered to Spotify, they are also delivered to Deezer. We have deals with all of the majors, Merlin for the indies, and all the major distributors. And also direct deals with some select indies as well. So it's the same process as with any other DSP. Do you have any US-based offices for artist visits? No, we don't. We have David Atkinson, but he works remotely and he is our sole US player. Super helpful. Great resource, but no office, I'm afraid. Not yet. Let's see how this Sonos partnership goes, and maybe we'll develop one. Um, I represent a distributor and publisher based in Albania. We are looking to add Deezer in our chain for distribution. Can we have a partnership and how we can discuss further? So yes, that can be discussed. It falls a bit outside of Kat and I's remit, but there is a label relations team. Slightly confusing. Kat and I are artist relations, which is kind of more on the marketing and promotion side. There's a label relations team which deals more with the deals and the contracts, and they would be the people to speak to. So you can get in touch with us and we will point you in the right direction of the correct person to speak to for that. What differentiates Deezer from other streaming platforms like Spotify or Apple Music? Well,
Great
I think,
question.
yeah, no, really good question. But like,
Yeah.
kind of, it all comes down to this indie spirit. We're hungry. We understand kind of that indie mentality of kind of always having to fight for your supper, and always constantly punching above your weight. So I think we one have that drive and hunger. Two, we welcome contact like this. We welcome meetings, artist visits, regular calls, where I think you would likely find a lot of red tape at some of the other bigger partners by way of just standard communication. We like to consider ourselves as the friendly partner. Our whole team will answer emails within, 48 hours to 48 to 72 hours. You'll always get a reply from somebody in the team, and we're always willing to work with you. So I just think that general attitude is slightly different for a smaller player than it is a bigger player.
Also, just to add to that,
Uh,
like
yep.
we have our markets as well. So like we are very strong in obviously France, Brazil. So these are part of our key markets. So this is where we can
Mhm.
push the envelope as well, as opposed to other DSPs.
Exactly. And also just within that conversation, it's the B2B partnerships as well with the white label service and, providing music to other business verticals allows us to be a bit of a disruptor and, look into to other areas outside of streaming.
Any other questions? Doesn't look like it.
Looks like we are slowing down with any questions that are coming in. I just want to say thank you so much again to the Deezer team for presenting, and thank you all for not just attending today, but also for the lively discussion on the back half of the webinar here. We really appreciate it. It seems like it's been worth everyone's time, and we're really grateful to host this great event and to connect everyone today. So thank you, everyone involved. We do have a couple more questions. Look like they're sneaking in now.
Okay. Someone else asked if it was possible to bulk add artists to the D4C. Kat, do you know?
As in, so basically how D4C works is that you need to claim your artists. So yeah, if you have multiple artists, you definitely can claim multiple artists. So yeah, that's easy. That's easy to do. That you can do that via that link we shared as well. It shows you a guide on how to add your artists on the platform.
Can you tell us more about your white label service? So when I say white label, it's in specific reference to the B2B deals and meaning that we have the contracts that allow us to offer music to other partners. So for instance, Sonos and Sonos Radio, the music comes from us and we have that to be able to do that. So that's what I mean by white label service. It's giving our catalog to other brands to use in their own apps and their own services. But that's a like a proper B2B deal. It's not just something that's given out to anyone and everyone. It's months and months of contracts and negotiations, etc., to establish a deal like that, like we have with Sonos. Is there still a Miami Deezer office? Unfortunately, Maria, there is not. Very sad.
But you never know. Watch the space.
All right, folks. Well, thank you again for all of your questions. Really grateful to have you all here today. And thank you one more time, Deezer, for being here. We're grateful to have you not just as members, but also as today's presenters. Thank you again for all who attended. We look forward to welcoming you to future Music Biz events, both in person and virtual in the future. And I hope you have the great rest of your day. You all take care.
Thank you
Thanks,
very much.
everybody.
Bye bye.